Mr. Pritam Singh, we can take our two cards together.
Sir, this card seeks to explore whether the Ministry can grant Singaporeans greater flexibility to use more of their own MediSave to pay their hospital bills. This is particularly for bills which are not covered by MediShield Life or because the amount owing is within the deductible limit and hence must be settled solely by the patient in cash or MediSave. In such cases, MediShield Life does not kick in because it is meant for larger hospital bills. While MediSave can be used, it is subject to limits, and in many cases a few $100s will still have to be coughed up in cash. I believe there is scope for the government to exercise some flexibility and give Singaporeans the choice of allowing the entire remaining amount after subsidies to be paid by a patient's MediSave instead of cash, bearing in mind this involves a hospitalization. For citizens with sufficient MediSave balances and who are in their senior years from the age of 60 in particular, some additional flexibility in terms of choice would bring significant peace of mind, leaving cash in their pocket. I hope the government can look into this to reduce the out-of-pocket expenses for this category of Singaporeans. For example, can the government consider a tiered withdrawal quantum for those above 60, not too dissimilar from the MediSave withdrawals for long-term care announced in July last year, to achieve a sustainable balance between the use of a member's MediSave savings for the immediate term and the future respectively. To my second card. Chairman, sir, CashShield Life and MediShield Life are both compulsory schemes, with the former soon to become a central pillar of our healthcare system. The public cannot opt out of either scheme, and this fact alone brings into sharp focus the premiums of compulsory risk pooling schemes. It would follow that the adequacy ratio of such schemes and the government's responses, reasons and assumptions behind premium pricing should be made more transparent so that the public can understand the factors behind premium calculation. One of the pain points that was manifested through public discussions prior to the debate in this House on the CashShield Life white paper last year surrounded the fact that from 2002 to 2016, ElderShield collected $2.6 billion in premiums and only slightly in excess of $100 million was paid out. The importance of pre-funding for such schemes aside, a general lack of understanding contributed to the public dissonance on the issue, as the numbers suggest over-collection of premiums. I appreciate the actuarial models that determine how premiums are priced are complex and multifaceted. Some factors include disability, mortality, recovery rate, claims continuance rate, improvements to mortality, as well as the risk profile of various cohorts, amongst others. However, complexity should not be a reason to avoid publishing these considerations and the weightage of the calculations behind them. With the upcoming legislation of CashShield Life, I hope these assumptions and consideration can be meaningfully communicated to all Singaporeans. On a similar note, I would like to inquire about the frequency with which MediShield Life's adequacy ratio is reviewed by the MediShield Life Council and considered by the Ministry, so as to ensure that the greater transparency on reserve requirements called for in the MediShield Life Review Committee report are meaningfully operationalized. I understand the FAQ section on MediShield Life on the Ministry of Health websites provides a helpful table setting out the incurred loss ratio of the scheme each year. Can ministers share, in light of MediShield Life transitional subsidies ending this year and the incurred loss ratios over the years exceeding 90% so far, does the Council foresee an increase in premiums in the near future? So I believe transparency can help control healthcare costs by widening debate and scrutiny. It also helps create the peace of mind that all is done to ensure the affordability of these compulsory insurance schemes. In the absence of such knowledge regarding spending, insurance may be inaccurately perceived by some as a pure tax rather than a risk pooling scheme that is closely tied to each participating cohort's expected benefits. Thank you.